Hello and welcome to GeForce. I'm Julian. This is Jeremy, Wood of Frostkeep Studios. You guys are here to talk about your game Rend. What is Rend?
Rend is a new competitive team-based multiplayer survival game. Survival game where you're not just naked and alone in the woods. You actually have friends with you.
You're
guaranteed.
naked with 20 people in the woods.
Yeah, that's how all the best stories start, right? Highly competitive for moment one, fairly equivalent teams. It's a different kind of experience, a little more guided, a little more under control than your usual survival melee.
So you're one of three factions. There can be up to 20 people on your team at any given point online, right?
Yeah.
And the goal is to appease the gods. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're loosely based on Norse mythology. The idea is that Ragnarok has happened. The good guys, of course, lost. Midgard is shattered. You can look up in the sky and see the ruins of it. So this place is basically turned into a proving ground where all these warriors are coming together to determine who's worthy of joining the next generation of the Pantheon.
Yeah. So what's the actual gameplay like among your own team and between the different factions?
So when you first log in, you're in this shared space where everything around you is safe. There's this shimmery shield that is keeping the other factions out of your starting area. A few minutes into the game, somebody's already starting to build a little faction base there, and that's also, it's friendly to you. Like, everyone's working together from moment one to start building up defenses. That shield that keeps other factions out is only mostly effective. And we run an event twice a week called The Reckoning, where we bring that shield down. We spawned a bunch of big bad boss monsters called the Lost. They come try to tear your base down. You fight them off, and hopefully there's not too many holes in your walls because your shields have to recharge for a few hours. That's when the other factions can attack. Now, this is a pre-scheduled event. Everyone knows exactly when it's going to happen. It happens to all the factions at the same time. And so, yeah, you got to defend your base like you would in a survival game, but you get to be there for it.
If your base is destroyed, though, is that game over? What's going to happen?
So at the center of your base is your Divinity Stone. This is indestructible. It's part of your victory condition. If people break in, they can wail on that thing and pop out all these lost spirits that you have stored in there that you're trying to collect in order to win. So you want to protect it. You want to keep the other teams from stealing all of your hard-earned spirits. You bring them back to that Divinity Stone, and you're trying to fill it up. But ultimately, one team is going to fill it all the way up, and when they do, we declare them a winner, and we reset the server and start the next match.
It sounds like all three factions are basically functionally the same, just different names, different looks, right?
Yeah. It's they have their own color and name and icon. They've also developed their own personalities kind of organically as testers have been in the game. Before we introduced the factions, our community was so happy and joyful and got along with each other. We put these factions in, and they all separated themselves and immediately hated each other. And they weren't even playing the game at this point. Exactly. We got to take advantage of the tribal nature of humanity.
How long does a match typically last?
Right now, it looks like between 1 to 2 months. Obviously, that can go up or down depending on how the game goes. We stuck at where we're at now because it feels long enough to really get invested in a persistent world, but not so long that you're like, oh, I can't start over. It was too much work.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So it's kind of a middle ground.
It's like high stakes. You really do care. You've been working towards ascending to Valhalla for a whole month with a bunch of friends. How can people actually get involved and play your game?
You can sign up for Alpha, which is going on right now at rendgame.com. We're introducing new content every week or two. It's very rapidly updating, and we're moving quickly towards early access. Should be out this year on Steam. Over
a month-long battle, I'm sure a lot of fun things are going to happen, and it might be worthwhile to actually clip it and save it. Are you guys implementing some way of doing that?
We are, investigating technologies like NVIDIA highlights and things like that. Would love to get those integrated into the game as quickly as we can because you never know when something magical is going to happen. Survival games are all about creating memories, so being able to have video proof of your memories is obviously awesome.
Cool. And ascending to the gods' glorious Valhalla would be nice to prove to all your friends.
Exactly.
I am the favored one. Thank you so much for coming in and telling us about Rend today.
Absolutely. Thanks for your time.
You guys, thank you for tuning in here on GeForce. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment to be entered to win in our contest for our giveaway during E3, and stay tuned for more coverage here on GeForce.